welcome to
Welcome
this week's news and
to
updates. If you could
this
all
week's
stay
news and
muted, we would
updates. If you could
really,
all
really
stay muted,
appreciate
we
that.
would really appreciate.
This week, we're going to bring you a special broadcast with the news from AltSpace VR's Town Hall event on Thursday this week. I am your host, Rel.
And I am your other AW. And we have our wonderful producer, Mark, running the cameras and moderating at the same time. And we're here for you every week to bring you the latest news and updates from our favorite VR social platform, which is AltSpace VR. Now, as Laurel said, we have all the news and reactions from the Town Hall event in AltSpace, which was led by Keegan, who is the AltSpace VR program owner. That means she owns the responsibility for everything that goes on in AltSpace. There were quite a few announcements and updates, and we decided to focus the majority of this podcast on what we learned at the Town Hall and to help you understand the impact. Now, AltSpace has received a commitment in terms of support and financial backing from Microsoft to keep it going and investing in the future of AltSpace and its community. Now, this is at a time when there are other VR social platforms and apps that are stumbling. Some are closing temporarily or even permanently, and others are scrambling to survive. So AltSpace is staying open, which is a very good thing. AltSpace is determined to be the event and social space in VR. Now, Keegan explained that AltSpace VR is perfectly primed to say that we are all in on VR. So we are all in with our community. So that's a very, very good thing to hear at a turbulent time for VR. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely.
Now, moving on to some of these achievements, Ra, let's talk about some of those.
Yeah, her commitment, what she said is a commitment. I know it was kind of a PR statement, but, it was really, really powerful. And when she went through some of the achievements, I wish she had this slide that we have behind us here. She said that this is what AltSpace has done. They've released over 35 activities and games. That's incredible. 40 environments, host of events. You know that we have over 100 events, most of them like people like you and me, every single week here in AltSpace. That's unbelievable. We broke records. AltSpace broke a record with 1,200 people in VR at the same time for the Reggie Watts concert. That's amazing, absolutely amazing. They've hosted weddings and they closed down and rose from the ashes. I think that is just outstanding, and we got to give them some love and applause because, that's a lot of work and effort that's gone into keeping AltSpace fantastic. Thanks.
It is.
Now,
look at all the love we're getting from the audience.
Thank you. AltSpace. Yay, love AltSpace.
And it's all you guys, too. I mean, they're doing it all for us, So.
It is, yeah. And none of this comes without some bumps along the way.
Right.
Keegan asked us to pardon our dust while we reconstruct, and I love that, during the next few months of major remodeling. And more on that in a moment, but let's talk about some of the positive things, the really exciting stuff that came out of the Town Hall announcements.
All right. Well, the marshmallows and fireworks are back. Have you guys seen those in the campfire? There were a number of requests to bring them back, and that was heard. So they are officially back, and be ready for more marshmallows to be shoved in your face when you visit that spring campfire. So.
I didn't even know they were gone. I was so relieved. They're back.
So AltSpace is officially out of beta. This means they've moved through the product development cycle from the baby steps of experimentation to a full-blown social VR experience. So let's hear it for that. AltSpace was one of the first social VR experiences, and to quote Keegan, we were there at the start and we are here now. So keep that in mind, everybody, that it might take a licking, but it keeps on ticking. So,
you got it.
Congrats to the AltSpace team. Yeah.
Okay.
Hard work went, a lot of hard work went into getting this far, and we want to thank the AltSpace team for seeing this forward into the future. So the good news is AltSpace is hiring more developers and more engineers and expanding. And so that construction work is going to be taking place over the next few months. So Raul, you want to talk more about that?
So the construction work that we're going to be undergoing here over the next few months serves the goal that they've been working on for the past year, and that is to make this the best social VR experience with the best performance and the most welcoming platform for you to be on, and encouraging you, as Keegan said, to bring in your friends and family and just gather and hang out, which I love. I brought my mother, who's over 80 years old. I brought her in here, and she loved it. She did the meditation. It was fantastic. And she loves the bubbles that I'm making for Bubble Bay. In fact, she named my world Bubble Bay. I just loved it. But anyway, by focusing on building a solid, stable, and scalable core, Altspace VR can move forward with greater strength and flexibility. The development team is working hard on resolving issues in and around crashes, overheating, and performance, improving the experience for all, not just Oculus users. And hello to room 2. I'm so glad you all are here. Everybody give some hearts up for room 2. Yay.
Yay. We ask that you please stay muted unless you have a question. We'll get to question and answer after the event. We only ask that because we hear an echo coming from the audience and it kind of messes us up while we're up on stage. So thank you. Please stay muted.
We are being live streamed.
Yeah, live streamed.
And recorded. So just letting you know. Yay.
Thank you.
All right, we have the program to talk about. You want that one?
Sure. So Altspace VR's Bounty program is going strong, and it's working with the community developers and world builders to improve Altspace by adding features, functionality, and more to the core. So you want to check in with the SDK or the MRE meetups and their Discord channel for more details all about that and how you can contribute to creating the next game, event, or space here in Altspace.
Yay! So we were greeted at the town hall by one of the new event spaces put together by the dev team, a cityscape view with a theater high up in a skyscraper with a ramp really cool to the balcony, kind of continuing with the Vista design that they've done earlier. And the announcement also included preview photos of events and social template spaces that are coming our way, including a gaming arena and more performance event spaces. So things are happening here. And a new home space is out. This one looks like it is really going to be a fun home space for us to hang out in and play games with. This fun coastal cabin. It just looks so cute. I can't stand it. So that should be really fun to do.
Yeah, and on that note, world builders are not to worry because Friday morning Keegan reassured us that world building will continue to move forward as it has with a focus on the new SDK MRE and Unities to support the world building kits, the functions, and the features. So there will soon be a red flag warning for worlds that are not mobile friendly, so watch for that. Now, Altspace VR is moving event issues up the priority list as well, including doing much needed work on Front Row. For those who are not familiar with Front Row, it gives the event presenters the megaphone capability and a way to be visible and respond to questions across multiple mirrored event spaces like this one. So like just recently, we just had room 2 open. So we are being beamed into that room so they can see us all on stage and can communicate with us using the audience question, ask question button. So just to let you know, for a couple weeks, likely in June or July, Altspace will be turning off the Front Row to work on improving its performance and features. So if you host an event or you're interested in hosting an event, you want to talk to the events team to find out the details and to ensure your event space will work during the short retooling period.
Now, many of us event hosts are excited about all these improvements to make event hosting and moderation even better. So word is that there will be an events-focused meetup, it hasn't been scheduled yet, for event hosts to meet with the events team to share their concerns and offer feedback about event hosting. So watch the calendar for that, but make sure you can contact the events team at any time. They are really helpful and a supportive group. We love them. And what's going on with activities?
Has office hours tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. Tomorrow morning.
So check out the office hours with Yoonji, who's our events lead, about that. So activities will be changing for the better with improvements to some of our favorite, and the older activities either updating or being replaced with new ones in order to be compliant with this changeover. Now, one of the most exciting things that Keegan explained was that Altspace is no longer a research or experimental startup. It is now supported fully by Microsoft, and it's not making and not making money is not what they're focused on because they can focus on the community, being that the dedication to Altspace VR is the currency. It's your happiness. That makes Altspace what it is today. It's the currency that keeps everything going here in Altspace. So that means that our needs as a community have been heard, and they're doing the best that they can to respond as fast as they can. With the development teams to ensure that Altspace is stable, welcoming, and ready to support all our activities and events. And once again, they are hiring, so be sure to check the careers page for details on that.
Now, AltSpace, as most of you know, is an agnostic VR social experience allowing access with a wide variety of devices. Now, the new certification for Oculus, covering the Quest and the Go, which we'll be talking about more later on in the show, is stricter than previous releases. While AltSpace has been preparing for these changes, it requires some major reconstruction in AltSpace to become more mobile compliant. And Keegan assured everyone that while they're moving forward with a mobile-first attitude, that mobile is our bread and butter, but tethered and 2D PC users will continue to be supported. And with this in mind,
Yeah, and with
Keegan gave us some details on some of the dust from the construction that we should anticipate.
Yeah, and to get into that, I have a lot of mixed feelings, but AltSpace VR will be changing, and the performance weight of the avatars are limiting the number of people in worlds and event spaces. So it's taxing the mobile devices. So a new avatar development team is in place, and they will be meeting May 16th with the community to hear about your desires and concerns with avatars. Now, many users have been reminiscing about the old days of AltSpace VR when we had only 3 choices. You remember those, Norm?
Yeah.
Those days, yeah. So only recently were we able to add customization like facial hair, skin colors, and clothing options to the humanoids. But starting June 1st,
in order to streamline the retooling of the AltSpace core, we're going to be back to 3 choices. They're 2 humanoid, male and female, and we'll have some hair, skin, and clothing customization, and the blue and white robot, often referred to as the guest or the TV bot. Full body tracking will not be available after June, another temporary change. Okay, for now, Connect, Perception Neuron, Leap Motion, and I don't know how to say this, Jay. Kinema?
Kinema? I think it's a Kinema.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will no longer be supported. By August, likely before, avatars will be revamped with potentially more features and functionality.
Yeah, and Keegan's anxiety on making this announcement was really obvious that it didn't come easy. You know, she herself has a customized and unique avatar, and will have to give that up for at least a couple months during the retooling. Like her, some people have become very attached to avatars, like myself, which is understandable. But remember, as we teach in AltSpace VR, there is a real person behind every avatar. And it is that person, each unique and beloved human being, that brings us back to AltSpace over and over again. You know, our community is this virtual society that we've created, and that makes us love AltSpace. You know, it's not really the color or shape of our cartoon skins that we're wearing.
Yeah, and it just makes me cry to think about how special everybody is here. So, you know, just like in the real world, I don't care what you look like, it's your heart. And I love that. And remember, this is temporary. Who knows how amazing the avatars are going to be or what freedoms we will have to not just customize them, but to bring them in from other apps as well. It's still early days, and Keegan said, this is just temporary. So patience, man. It's going to be tough, but patience. The community helpers. Yeah, deep breaths. Lots of deep breaths, you know.
Well, the thing is, you know, the only thing constant in life is change, and change is hard. And a lot of the times with change, it's really important. Hello there. Liam. All right. The thing is that, you know, like I was saying, change is hard. And I think what makes change a little easier is when we feel that we're included on those changes and those discussions that are, you know, that are being had in order to have the change that's necessary in order to comply. You know, a lot of this has to do with Oculus and moving forward with Oculus standards, because that's what the Quest is all about. So a lot of this is coming from wanting to support the mobile community, and you know, in order to do so, they have to listen to the standards of Oculus.
And May 16th will be, as a reminder, that's when there'll be a community meeting for people to talk with the avatar development team here at AltSpace about your wishes, your desires, and your concerns. So make sure you put that down on your calendar, because they want to know, what do you want to see in the future? You know, they know you have concerns about what you're going to be losing, but they also want to know, what do you want to see going forward? And I think
Yeah.
it's going to be exciting because there's so many possibilities that are out there now with full body scanning and tracking and everything else that's going on. So who knows what's going to happen?
And
And I'm
I also want to
excited
bring up the
about that.
point too that we had some devastating news about the SDK back a few months ago, and everyone was really hurt by a lot of stuff going away. But then look at all the wonderful Unity worlds that we have now, and just how Altspace has gone to a whole nother level. Because of the
That's
work
true.
of Jimmy and Anthony and various different people, on the team that made that a possibility. And look at all the wonderful worlds that you're all bringing in and taking it to a whole other level that we never had before. So there is promise in change.
There is, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming down the road.
Yeah.
It's kind of okay. So now you got me excited. Who knows? Who knows what's going to
Yeah.
happen? I just really love it. All right. Speaking
Yeah.
of change, the
Yeah.
community
This one.
helpers.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Are now sporting. Okay, I'm trying to be nice about this. All right, please. I'm trying to be fair and nice about this. Are sporting this.
Right.
Okay, pinkish salmon vomit colored border over our name tags. I didn't say that. Did I say that out loud? Oh my God. Okay.
Right.
This pinky border around our name tags and with a heart and a smiley face over our heads, replacing that lightning bolt. Now, many have been outspoken about their resistance to the color change. I'm not one. No, I'm kidding. As well as,
Of course you're not. Please.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to be fair. As well as the
Uh-huh.
overall quality, requesting that the border color be reverted back to green. Now, some people,
Please.
some people don't mind the heart, though some people admit the smiley face is just a little creepy. Okay,
Yeah.
I've heard that already. And some are really eager for the badge border color to revert back to green. And
Yeah.
there's been a lot of concerns, and honestly, I have actually been harassed for having this color by
no.
some of the people in the campfire. So this is not, Outspace is not that kind of place. So please be patient with the and spread the word, the community helpers. We're doing the best we can with the bad pink. But
Yeah, we used to
Keegan
say it
Enter-
isn't easy. I used to say
It
it
isn't
isn't easy
easy being
being
green.
green. No, it doesn't
Okay,
really
but
work with. It is easy being pink.
pink. It just doesn't work. It's kind of torture to be pink, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Keegan and her team have been considering ways to reward longtime contributing users to Altspace beyond the community helper badge. They haven't reached any conclusion, but she said input is welcome, which made me think. I mean, if you've been a longtime member of Altspace, what would you like as a benefit or a reward? I don't know.
Yeah, think
So
about that.
we can talk about it after, but let the staff know if you think there's something we need. Let them know.
For your loyalty. Yeah, definitely.
Yay!
So Laurel live blogged this event, the town hall, with the help of Mark, adding photos and screenshots and all these wonderful slides that he does for us during the event. So in our news and updates Discord channel, you want to check that out. The first post in the series is pinned to the top of the channel, as is the video of the live stream if you've missed the event and you need a synopsis. Now, we've covered a lot of those points, but in general, the town hall news was positive, though not received positively by many. Altspace VR continues forward, driving toward more stability and improved performance. And for those of us early adopters and VR pioneers, it may feel like just a bumpy ride, but keep in mind we are pioneers. And what we think, will only bring us more better features and more positive features based on the feedback that we provide.
And as mentioned in the town hall, Altspace VR has dropped support for the Daydream VR. That's from Google. They've also removed the Altspace VR app from the Google Play Store. So tech marches on and change happens. Keegan stated that if your Google app or Daydream is currently working, stay with it. It will stop working soon, but until then, keep going. A fund has been set up by the Altspace VR community to help offset the cost of updating to a new headset for some of our volunteers, our popular volunteers and our world builders. If you would like to contribute, we're going to post a link to it in our news and updates Discord channel. And please help us spread the word, because that's the one thing I love most about this community is how giving and generous people are and how supportive they are to each other all the time. It's just a beautiful thing. And we want to help those. Yeah, so we'll put that link up there. And now the Oculus Quest seems like that's all anybody's been talking and thinking about, and especially
There's
lately.
lots of questions. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's part of the reason for all this construction in Altspace. It came out on Tuesday this week and is out. I mean, literally out, sold out in what did you say, Jay? It was like in 3 days? 2 days?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and I guess Walmart
Yeah.
was shipping it out before the shipping date was supposed to be, which is
I
supposed to be
know.
May 21st.
And
Yeah,
not only that, but if you had got one of the Walmart ones, there's a glitch in them. So take them back
yeah,
to
you
the
can't even use
store.
it.
You
Yeah.
can't use them, so be aware. The pre-orders are due to be shipped. They were, I just found out just an hour ago, they were due to be shipped out around May 21st, but they have that some people have started already getting notices that theirs will show up within the next week or so. So, I don't know what's going on. They say one thing, do another. It's just, I mean, you think Oculus is and Facebook is any different than AltSpace? So I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on. But anyway,
Well, keep
the
in mind, like I said,
Valve,
a lot of
yeah,
this is to comply with Oculus, it's owned
yes,
by Facebook.
yeah,
So, this isn't necessarily an easy thing,
yeah.
unfortunately.
So
But moving on to
AltSpace is trying to
positive
convey.
news,
But
moving on to positive
I know,
news,
but
let's
the Valve also
congrats.
sold out. Hold on, the Valve
Okay.
also sold out. Now, think about this. The Valve sold out, the Quest sold out.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a clue that VR is going to be, is going to be hot coming up? I think and we got some other devices coming around the corner.
Oh
They
yeah, like the
sold
HD
out.
Reverb for mixed reality. That looks really
Yeah.
awesome, and
Yeah. Talk of
yeah, there's some
VR
really,
being
really good
dead
ones.
is over. Look at what's going
No,
on.
no.
So,
And Steam's
uh,
seeing increased numbers, so that's a really good thing
yeah.
for mixed reality. So,
I think that's
yeah.
wonderful. All right, now on to the
Yeah.
exciting
Yeah, I
news.
kind of jumped the gun there because I just wanted to move on to positive news, but
I
congrats to the
know it is.
LGBTQ community. Their meetup of a 2-year
Yay!
anniversary yeah, let's hear it for Chris and the rest of the admin team. Awesome.
Yay!
So, one of the longest continually running AltSpace events is the LGBTQ meetup, and Dozen celebrated at 2 time zone events Thursday with Chris and the LGBTQ community, and we were surrounded by rainbows in the sky and on
It
the
was
water.
awesome.
Yeah. We hung out in the backyard in the hot tub and had a great time, followed by a special tribute performance, a Wednesday's open mic night with Mika and the incredibly talented AltSpace citizens in the same space as the anniversary event to bring attention to that celebration. So,
Yeah.
on a personal note, Ral, I want to say over the 2 years that we've seen, this community grow, the LGBTQ community, especially the ones that come to support us that aren't necessarily identify as lesbian, gay, bi, or transgender. We have seen amazing personal stories of courage from in and around this community in AltSpace. The support and the love that this community brings to its members is felt far and wide across the entire AltSpace community worldwide, and it represents the beacon of what AltSpace is all about. So it's such a huge milestone. 2 years going strong with people just being open-minded and willing to understand their fellow brother and sister. I just love it.
Yeah, and when I think about what AltSpace means,
Yeah.
the LGBTQ plus friends community, they represent compassion, tolerance, and diversity,
Yeah.
and embrace all. And that is I'm going to start crying. I can't even talk.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that is a truly beautiful thing. So congratulations, honestly, to Chris and everyone. That is a beautiful thing. And you know what, Jay? We're going to be there for the 5, for the
Yeah.
10, and for the 20-year anniversaries. Yeah!
Yeah, now that I'm an admin, I have so much more responsibility, but I took that on because I knew how important it was in a time like this when the political climate is just really tumultuous. So,
Yeah, so congratulations to all. And keep going!
yeah.
All right, so we have a list in the lobby. Oh, we're going to start crying here. Okay, we have a list in the lobby you saw as you came in with the various main AltSpace VR Discord groups for volunteers, world building events, and so on and so forth, and even our Discord group. So make sure you check that out, and please join us on Discord. We did the live blogging event for the town hall, and we're thinking about doing that for some of the Mingles and Chills and some of the other events as well. If we can get a team of reporters to help us make that happen. So,
Yeah.
please join us so we can make that go forward. And now, on to one of my favorite topics. It's time for world building and the SDK news. We're only going to do a little bit of this, but we do have some news. So, as all these changes are happening temporarily in all of AltSpace and all the construction going on, another temporary change is that Jimmy will be moving to the core stabilization and performance dev team for a little bit. He is one of our world building, I don't know, supervisory management type people. And Kaylin will be taking over building worlds. Please know that world building continues forward. That, again, that is not going away. That has been on the path of change for several months now, and it's still going to be happening. So make sure Kaylin will be testing all the new worlds when they're requested to be featured with an Oculus Go. And she'll start doing that probably by Monday or Tuesday as she adjusts her schedule to accommodate the new responsibilities. So make sure your worlds are as mobile friendly as possible before you mark it for feedback. But what we also recommend is in the World Builders Discord group, we have a sharing section. Make sure that you post your world. I recommend that you post your world in there so that people in the World Builders group can give you some feedback and help you do some testing to make sure it's all good to go. And then Kaylin can come in and run through and make it featured. So also, as one more reminder, I've been asked to, again, tell you all that if you add a browser to your world, make sure it is locked down with the moderator tools so users cannot add or change the video player. We've had some more issues recently, and we want to ensure that AltSpace VR is a nice and friendly and safe place to explore. Now, there are several meetups that are going on every week to help with world builders. We have the world building in AltSpace for the beginners. We have the intermediate level world builders meetup, and then we have the SDK for the advanced level programming with Unity and whatnot. So please check those out. And as always, for more information, go to help.altvr.com and developer@altvr.com. All right. Are you ready for some new worlds?
Yeah, let's move on to some new world highlights. Now, we don't want to forget the amazing worlds that our world builders are creating here in AltSpace. And we think some of them, mainly the artists expressing their creativity through world building, there are a few highlights from the new worlds in AltSpace. So let's get to them, and you'll follow along in this slide presentation. Tilted by Lisa is a tribute to Tilt Brush and her work in creating 3D models for inclusion in AltSpace VR worlds. Currently, it's not recommended at this point for Go or Gear users, but if you can get in, enjoy the beautiful sculptures and the lovely music that accompanies this space by our own amazing Serenity. What a talent,
Yay!
both of them.
Yeah.
Now, The Wedding by Mr. Vodlock is a tribute to a wedding
It's
chapel on the beach, surrounded by the sounds of waves and seagulls.
That's beautiful. And one of the most extraordinary, I mean, I go through every week, I go through all of the new worlds, and this one just, my jaw just hit the floor. Listen to Ozymandias is by Chuck, also known as the Health Systems Chat. It's an audio poetic tale of a traveler finding the ruins of Ozymandias, the king of kings in a vast desert, kind of like an homage to Egyptian ruins. And it's a prime example of how powerful a world may be built using minimalistic storytelling and all the creativity that is possible here in AltSpace. Honestly, it just dives really deep into your imagination without overwhelming your senses. Check it out. It is really amazing. And I was just kind of stood there and I had to listen to it several times. It was amazing. Yeah.
See, this is when we need that wow emote. Where's that?
We need that wow emote.
Yeah.
We got to have something better than this because it was amazing. And I laughed my butt off. I'm not kidding, my virtual butt off with Life Begins at the End of Your Comfort Zone by Simon. It features a German outdoor survival guy, Fritz Menke, to show you where the hammer hangs in a vast glacial forested world. I don't care if you understand German or not. It's hysterical. I love it.
Well, Chris, aka Dude Master 146, has created Resorts in Paradise, a Florida-looking city with a palm tree-lined boulevard to explore and hang out. And he's created a lot of other worlds, which are pretty quite amazing. So I
Oh
love
yeah.
what he's been contributing lately. Mr. Prime created the Lakeshore Cabin, and it's a peaceful place to hang out and chat. And I love the flying birds, and watch out for the wandering chicken there. So I'm gonna check that out. And remember, everybody in this room can build your own worlds. You want to check out help.altvr.com for all the information on how to do just that.
Yay. All right. I am seeing something different on my in here than I do in the slides. Are we having a little technical difficulty, Mark? What are you seeing, Jay?
Yeah, yes, I am seeing the same thing.
Okay.
One slide ahead.
One slide ahead? It looks like more. Okay.
Oh, this is a live show, folks. This is
So
what
I
happens,
know it is.
so
Yeah.
it's okay.
Okay.
You just roll
So
with it.
we're
Yeah.
gonna roll with what's going on here. So, as this is a special broadcast focused on the AltSpace VR Town Hall announcements, we don't have much event news for you, so that we haven't already mentioned. So please check your events calendar on the website in World, mark the events you wish to attend with the star or the RSVP, and be notified an hour before the event is over. And
Yeah.
our event is over. So again, make sure that you check out all the Discord channels and everything that's going on, and take us away. Jay, close us out.
Yes. Well, do we have a little time afterwards to take some questions and get some feedback
We will take
for
questions
the town hall?
afterwards. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we will.
All right. Well, if you enjoyed AltSpace news and updates, like Rel said, subscribe to our event through the channels tab on the website. Join us on the Discord, YouTube, and be sure to tell your friends. I want to thank Mark, our wonderful producer, that's fiddling with the slides right now, trying to get them right, and all of our news and updates volunteers and moderators that help really make this event such a success. If you would like to volunteer and to help us out, we would love it. So see us after the show, because we do this all for you, our AltSpace community, to help you stay informed and up to date on what's happening here in our community. So stick around for some Q&A afterwards, and just to share us your opinion. Take care, everybody, and thank you.
Thank you, and don't forget, this is being live streamed, and the event recording will be up, even with our lovely little glitches, usually within the hour. So check out our news and updates Discord channel. Yay! Thank you all.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for all the love and emoting during.
All right, there's a Discord. Okay, thanks, everybody. Okay.
So if you guys have a question, you see